Hi everyone. Before I start the studio vlog, let's take a moment to enjoy the beautiful gerbera that we have in flower on our deck. So pretty, just the softest mauvey pink. Anyway, let's get started. Good morning everyone, welcome to the Lily Pilly Stitches studio vlog. My name's Lisa and I'm coming to you from a sunny winter's morning in Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. I'm just out on the deck today, there's a bit of sunshine, it's just nice and warm and lovely, and I thought, the birds you can hear, I thought it would be nice to come out on the deck and film a video. I haven't been on here for a while, just had a lot going on with our family member who's unwell and now in palliative care, so just a lot of back and forth to and from the hospital, but I have been getting a lot of knitting done and I've missed you all, but yeah, I just didn't feel like picking up the camera and talking, and I thought I better do it today because I've knitted quite a few projects, and I recently had a biopsy done on a skin cancer there, and it turns out it's a BCC, a basal cell carcinoma. Nothing too worrisome, it just means I have an appointment to go see a plastic surgeon to get possible skin grafts, so I'm going to have a very ugly nose possibly for a while. Just depends on how she decides to treat it. I know a colleague at work has had skin cancers recently and they got some chemo cream to put around the site, so we'll see if I have to have a full skin graft or if there's other options. I won't know yet till June. So also before I go at the start of June, I'm going to go and have a full skin check head to toe, just to make sure there's nothing else that needs chopping. I do have a dodgy sort of thing here, one on my shoulder that I'd like checked as well, so I'd rather just get rid of them if they're a problem. It looks a bit weird today, it's sitting a bit different because I'm sitting down in the chair, but I'm wearing a me-made dress that I made out of some cotton linen blend from Spotlight that I bought a few years ago. It's the Montana dress. I did share pictures when I made it about 12 months ago on my Instagram. So yeah, so let's get into it. I've got multiple finished objects to share with you. I have planned projects and well, I've got nothing on the needles at the moment because I just finished one project last night, so yeah, it'll mainly be finished projects, planned projects. Oh, I do have some on the needles. What am I saying? I've got multiple whips, but I haven't been working on them. But I do have one that I'm picking up because I'm going to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show in July. I'm really excited. Wayne booked my flights to Melbourne, and Mum's going to meet me down there and on the Friday, and then we're going to pick up a hire car in the morning and then head to Bendigo via, I think it's called the Cathedral. There's some like volcanic rock that they call the Cathedral or something, and it's like organ pipes or something. It looks really nice, so we might see if we can stop there along the way and then head to Bendigo and just have a chill afternoon, have lunch somewhere, have a look around the shops, maybe go to the op shops, and then check into our accommodation, which Wayne's organised. And then the Saturday I've got our tickets already booked to go to the Sheep and Wool Show, so we'll go there and just have a day. I don't really have it in me to do 2 days walking around the Sheep and Wool Show, so we're just going to do the Saturday. I'll buy whatever I like then at the various I'm looking forward to looking at all the various stalls selling yarn and everything, and we'll probably have lunch checking out the one of the sheep shows at the venue, and then the next day on the Sunday we'll check out and head back towards Melbourne via the Goldfields and we'll stop at a few country towns along the way, and we're going to stay overnight at Castlemaine. Sorry if that shaking mirror just jumped up to me. Yeah, so we'll have a look at Castlemaine and stay there for the night, and then meander our way through the country towns, heading back to the airport on the Monday before we fly out in the evening. So we won't really be doing Melbourne at all. We're just going to be doing country Victoria, which we're really looking forward to because we haven't seen any of those places before. So excited for that. That's what is it, the 17th of July to the 20th I'll be away, and then I think I've got another day at home before I go back to work, so just to have a bit of a rest after all the driving. So yeah, so let's get started, and I'll share my 2 sock finishes with you because they are my current go-to. Oops, sorry, got to look at my face up close. Can't pick the sock blocker up. They're my go-to portable project for on the train, and I knit during meetings that I'm not actively participating in. Just helps me maintain my concentration and stay focused on the meeting. I know some people might look at it and go, what is she doing? She's not even paying attention. She's, but it actually does help me focus. So I'm just getting the other sock. I'm going to show you the last sock I did, and then I'll show you the first sock I did, because why not? So if you hear any noise, it's Wayne doing stuff outside. So this is my most recent pair of socks that I finished in my own hand-dyed yarn. I dyed this a couple of years ago. So this one, I think I called this one Blue Hydrangea because it's just a very subtle blue with a bit of a hint of lavender behind it. And then this was just my red and white stripe, micro stripe yarn. And these are Afterthought heels that I did, and if you want to know how to do that, these are fingering weight, but I did share over Vlogmas a series of videos over 4 weeks that are a tutorial on making DK or 8-ply socks using basically the same recipe. So the toe I do that I like the most is the umbrella toe, which is by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. So I just used it from her pattern, one of her sock patterns, and then I just cast on with the hydrangea yarn and just did like not even an inch cuff. I tend to get a bit like I just want to get into the sock. I should do a bigger cuff, but this is fine. I'm just wearing them around the house in my gym jams mostly. So yeah, and then I knit down till I think it was about 5 inches I knit. Then I put in waste yarn for the Afterthought heel. Then I knit another 5.5 inches down before starting the toe. Knit the toe and then come back and pick up the stitches for the Afterthought heel. So that's my recipe. So once you get into sock knitting, you'll start to get to know how long your foot is, and I've got a recipe for Wayne's and a recipe for mine, so I know how far to knit before starting the toe and everything, so I can just pick up and pretty much knit without thinking too hard. I've taught myself to knit mostly. If I'm just knitting in the round, I can knit most of the time without looking down. So yeah, it's perfect for meetings, waiting in line, on the train, whatever, in the car. Obviously not when I'm driving, but when I'm a passenger princess. So yeah, so these are my vanilla socks off the needles. And now I'll show you my dopamine socks that I knit. I got the idea for the dopamine sock from Summer Lee. So I've been recently really enjoying her podcast, so I'll put a link down below to her. So she designs the most amazing, colourful, happy sock patterns, which are on my bucket list to download some of her patterns and knit her socks. I need to get some more fingering weight colours. So these are giving me ideas of maybe buying some mini packs when I'm at Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. like 10-gram minis or something that I can use, and some colourful yarn that I can use to make socks. And then whatever I don't use, I can put into my Cozy Memories blanket, mitered square blanket. So just what I did with these was I reversed the colour order, so it's still the same pair, matching pair, but their colours is reversed somewhat. So this one I started with casting on. I had some Edison bulb left by, is it Malabrigo? I don't know. Edison bulb yarn that it was from Amsterdam. And then I had some lovely sparkly, I don't know if you can really see, oh, that's my hand dyed there, my like stormy blue there. And then there's this one that's a Circus Tonic yarn that's like got lots of, it's actually got glitter in, but you can't really see it there. And then that's just another random yarn I had left over. This one I love. That one I got from a local dyer at that yarn place at Sanford, but it didn't have a name or anything, so I don't know who dyed it. This was more of my hand dyed yarn. This is my hand dyed yarn, that blue hydrangea yarn, and then this is my hand dyed for the heel. And then these stripes I got from my friend Rebekka, and this one I got a few years ago, I think down in Tassie, and then my hand dyed again is all in between. So all the hand dyed in between and of mine, and then the leftover scraps of yarn. So I just did the same recipe, afterthought heel, umbrella toe, and then this side I cast on with this pink, and then just work my way down with the stripe of yellow down here. So there's my two socks. These are my dopamine socks because they give me a dopamine hit. They're happy, cheerful, they bring joy to my day, and I'm going to really enjoy wearing them. I haven't been able to wear them because I've been saving them to show all of you. So now I can wear them. So I'll pop them off my sock blockers. I don't know that this company makes them anymore to sell, but it's called Lumographica. They're a Queensland company, and they do a lot of acrylic laser cut products, and they do have an Etsy shop called Lumographica. So yeah, I've got these sock blockers that I've had for a few years. So that's my two pair of socks. Now, the other project I made that I finished last night, I only have some photos I'll try and insert here, but I made some fingerless mittens for my father-in-law because he was complaining that his hands were cold and paining in bed. So I made those for him and gifted that last night. And the yarn I used was just a pure wool 8-ply, nothing fancy. Oops. I'm just going to lose my darning needle there. It is Czech Hayson Country 8-ply 50-gram ball. I used 250, not a full, I used almost a ball for each glove. So I still have some left over. So that's the yarn there. And it was in just a creamy white, which is colour 0003. Lot 1711514. Sorry, my neighbour's doing a lot of whippersnipping today, so I hope that's not disturbing you all too much. And I've been carting this bag around, which is what I got at the last year's Queensland Yarn Fest, which is coming up in August at Morayfield. So check out their Instagram, I'll put details down below, and their Facebook page, because you're going to want to come if you're in Queensland, or maybe you're here on holiday. You'll definitely want to be there because there's some really great vendors, and the lady who made this will be there with more sheep bags. So if you missed out, you're going to want to come. And she'll have different coloured corduroy at the bottom, as well as some ones in different fabric, I think, that's waterproof. So yeah, this is just like a good sized sock bag, but she had a range of sizes. But really, if you come, as soon as you get there, make a beeline for her table and grab a bag while you see it, because they sold out last time before the end of the first day. So yeah. And she can only bring so many with her, so I would definitely recommend getting onto that. The needles I used for the gloves were, I think they're 3.5mm, and I just used the Tin Can Knits, I think it's called Super Simple Mittens, but I'll put the link down below to the pattern, and it's a free pattern, so even better. So all I did was did the part up to where it's going to start doing the decreases on the hand, and actually I think I knocked off, I did 2 inches from the thumb separation, and then I did 1 inch of ribbing, 1x1 ribbing, before I picked up for the stitches for the thumb, because I was just doing fingerless. But this pattern is for full mittens, so if you want to do that, you just follow the pattern fully. But if you don't, you can eyeball it. If it's for you, you can put your hand in and measure it and go, oh, I'm up to here now, I'll just finish off with a little bit of ribbing. I think I did about 6 rounds of ribbing, with the 6th one being the one I cast off in pattern. And then I just literally did about 2 rounds of straight stockingette on the thumb, and then just about 4 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds of 1x1 ribbing. So that's that one. And what else? Recently on Mother's Day, my mother-in-law gave me this really sweet needle book that she picked up for me from the church. They have like a little church fair of handcrafted things. And this is all handmade, isn't it sweet? And she saw the green and knew that was for me. And it's just inside her skirt is the little needle book, which I think is just adorable. It reminds me of Holly Hobby, which I love. And I have a couple of necklaces of Holly Hobby from my childhood, which I still wear. Yeah, so really love that. So thank you to my mother-in-law for that one. And the head is all padded, so you can put pins in it if you need to, like a little pin cushion. I recently gave a young girl at work some knitting accessories from my shop, and I can't remember if I shared this, but she was really kind and gave me a thank you card, and it's got a cute horse on it that's like painted fabric, and then it's just what do you call it, blanket stitched around, sort of like a little rug. So sweet, really love that. So thank you, Maya. And yeah, so now what else are we going to go into? I'll go into my other whip, which I'm going to put on for you. So this is my champagne cardigan by Petite Knit, which I'm hoping to have finished to wear to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, because it's probably the only one area I'm going to get to wear this, because it's so thick. It's just not going to get cold enough here. Probably one day out of the whole winter it'll get cold enough to wear here. So maybe well, we are going away for a weekend to Toowoomba, so I might get to wear it there. So anyway, let me put it on. All right, so it looks a bit weird here because I haven't put the collar on yet, the button band, but it'll have a probably a lemon yellow button band, because I ran out of the pink and I need to go tomorrow to the yarn bowl at Banyo. Just move this Zanzibar gem out of the way. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be able to get the same pink as I have here. Let me just stand back a bit so you can see. So it's got pink along the bottom, and then doing the sleeves, and they'll have pink cuffs, and then I've just got enough for the cuffs, and then I'll get maybe a lemon yellow to put round as the button band, because I don't have things. So this is going to be like an oversized, like a jacket, and it's obviously sitting a bit weird at the moment because you know, it's not finished yet. But I've done almost a sleeve, and it's just, yeah, going to be one of those, like, I wanted like an oversized comfy cardigan, that I can throw on like a jacket or just wear around at home to keep cozy and warm. So that's what I've got done so far. And just mindful, I've got my needles in my sleeves. It's a raglan cardigan, and then it has a double knit band down here and double knit on the sleeves, and then double knit around the button band. Yeah, so this is what I'm up to. So I just need to work on this sleeve, get that done. It doesn't take too long because the sleeves are like drop sleeves, so they already come down almost to your elbow, so there's not much to do to get down to the wrist. And then yeah, and obviously when I block it, it'll sit nicer as well, and it'll just be a really cozy cardigan that I can enjoy wearing. And I just thought I'd try it on with this dress because it sort of goes with the colour. Yeah, so anyway, I've got this in my my Creative Garage project bag. I love this one. It's such a good sweater bag. Hopefully I might be able to get another sweater bag like this at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show maybe. Yeah, so let me just take that off again because it's quite warm. That's better. I've just popped this thin cardigan that I got. It's just a commercially made one. So, oh, I hope I didn't get that in the water. There was water there. Yikes. I just got my journal in the water. Ay, ay, ay. The joys of sitting outside. So hopefully, I mean, this is going to get a wash anyway, but yeah, luckily it didn't get in the water from the pot plant. So we don't want pot plant water on my beautiful cardigan. So yeah, so I just got waist yarn for this sleeve. I probably, if I was going to make this to be more of a fitted cardigan, I would have gone down a couple of sizes because this is quite oversized. But yeah, so that's what I've got done so far on the sleeves, just using magic loop. And I've got this cute little stitch marker that I got for free. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the lady. She sells all cotton yarn, and she was at the Queensland Yarn Fest last year. And then I've just got some needle stoppers on my needles, and these are 4.5mm interchangeables. And yeah, this is just a look at the bottom band, and that's what will be on the cuffs, and then like a lemon yellow I'm thinking, but I won't know till I go and check out the yarn bowl. And just, I'm going to take this with me and just see what colours look good together. And I've got these acrylic glitter buttons to go with it when I finish. So yeah, so that's my next work on project, though it is a bit hard to cart to and from the office because it's big. And yeah, so this will be probably, if I take the car to work, I'll leave it in the car to do at the hospital in the evening, or just do it at home. And I'll cast on something else new. Yeah. So I've just got this little notions pouch in here. Oh, there's my other needles I was looking for. I should have looked in here. Oh yeah, 4mm, but I think I need them for my planned project, which is, wait and I'll go get it. So the first planned project I have is, I was sharing some links for the emotional support chicken. This is my one, well, Wayne's. I made it for Wayne. This is Bok Bok. And I got the yarn from that yarn place at Sanford. And I just used one ball for the main colour. And then I had, that's part of the main colour. Oh, this yarn was just some yarn my mum had given me that she was going to make a tea cozy. So I just used it here and here to break up the main colour. And then I had some leftover 8-ply for the little crest and the wattle. And then some 8-ply here for the nose. And I got the eyes on Etsy. They're hand painted acrylic eyes, safety eyes. So I just had them in my stash. I've still got a few left. Anyway, I was sharing the link to a friend who was wanting to get back into knitting, and I said, you need to make an emotional support chicken. And when I went on there to get the links, I found that the lady who designed this pattern, and there's a junior version as well as a crochet version, but she's designed a little beret and a little cape, little cardigan cape for the emotional support chicken. So I downloaded last night I purchased the pattern, and so I'm gonna have a go at making Bok Bok a little beret with some scrap yarn. So cute. Anyway, that's Bok Bok. So that's my planned pattern for Bok Bok, is some accessories, because why not? Then my other planned project is, let me just get this bag. Oh, another thing I made is recently I used this leftover yarn and another beige coloured 8-ply yarn to make a little teddy pillow for my father-in-law, just to have company when we're not there at the hospital. And I just made a square pillow. I think I cast on, I've got it in my Ravelry, I think I might have cast on about 60 stitches and divided them between the 2 needles for the magic loop, and then I just knit a square. I bound off, and then I hand seamed it shut with just some blanket stitch, not blanket stitch, mattress stitch. Sorry, that sun's moved. You won't be able to see my face very well. I probably shouldn't be out here like this without sun cream on and a hat because of my skin cancer thing, but anyway. Anyway, I made the teddy, which you call Brown Eyes, and I just did the embroidered face with this, so I'll share a picture of that here. I also made a similar one for my nephew, but he likes Minecraft, so I made a creeper face, and it's in like a green 8-ply, and then just duplicate stitch the face on, which I'll put here. And he loves it, although he's a bit concerned it doesn't have legs. So yeah. I think he'd prefer if I had put legs on it, but anyway. And then another planned project that I've sort of cast on but I haven't done any work on because I just haven't had the headspace for it, is these mittens here. And I'm using yarn that my friends who are in the Himalayas at the moment, Alan and Susie, they have a company called Everest, and they take people up various mountains around the Himalayas, and they've just recently had 3 people attempt an Everest summit. 2 had to pull out, and 1 young woman made it, and she's now the first Afghan woman to have summited Everest. And I'll share a link below to her story. She has a video about how she got into mountain climbing, and just the journey that she's been on, leaving Afghanistan and losing her brother and all of that. And it's, I think, just a testament to the power of willpower, and women can do whatever they set their minds to. And yeah, just a real success story for her, and I'm just, you know, thought it would be nice to share that. So anyway, Alan and Susie often bring us back a little gift, and they've been bringing me back some yarn from the Himalayas, some yak yarn, and it's all hand spun, hand dyed. And so I've got this sort of charcoal black, and then this vibrant green, and I'm going to make the mittens. So the main colour will be black, and then the pop of colour with the slip stitches will be in this green. So just show you that. So I had to do a, I always find provisional casts on tricky. I did a crochet version of the provisional cast on with the blue yarn there, and then I'm just knitting the cuff. And so you knit the outside of the glove, and then you come back and you pick up from the provisional cast on, you pick up stitches and you knit a lining for them, so they'll be super thick and warm for wearing up in the Himalayas, up near Everest at the base camp. So this is hand dyed yarn that I dyed, and I'm going to, Alan loves green, so these are for Alan. So I'm going to knit this soft yarn held double with this beautiful Lang Yarns Alpaca Superlight in the colour 749.0018. It's this beautiful green, and I think these two go really perfectly together. So that will be the lining, so it'll be nice and soft on his hands, and then the rustic yarn on the outside, which will provide, you know, yak yarn is made for that area, so it'll be super warm when they're up in the tents. I don't, you know, to sleep in the mittens so he doesn't get cold hands at night. And that's just, I've got this part in here, and then the rest of the yarn I've had in my little basket, knitting basket. So that's what I've got here. This is just, oh, and the needles are the called for needles, I think. Yeah, so that's just in that bag that I got at my needlework retreat for the Nicola Parkman's needlework retreat in Tassie last year. So yeah, so that's that. And then I thought I'd show you a blast from the past, seeing as I've been talking about gloves. These are the first mittens I ever made, and I made them for my grandmother when just before she died. She was also, her hands would, the blanket would fall down in her chair and she would get cold hands and they would pain with her arthritis. So I made her a pair of these mittens. I'll share the pattern and it's on my Ravelry page. And I can't remember the yarn, but it should be on my Ravelry page. And they are just the loveliest mittens. And I love that I got these back because it's just like a dusky pink. I love that I got these back because my nan wore them before she died. And now if I want to hold her hand, I can just pop my hand in and I feel like I'm closer to her, that she's still with me and I can hold her hand because I do miss her. She got to the ripe old age of 104, so God love her. And yeah, so these are the mittens, and they have a beautiful, simple, if you're wanting to try cabling and you know how to knit socks, you can knit this. Super simple. This is just literally one cable stitch. Like you just do one row of the cable stitch, I think, just to do the twist. And cables look complicated, but they are really simple. So when you're doing a cable, when you come along to do the cable stitch, it'll tell you to hold the stitches in front or back. Usually it might be to hold 2 to 4 stitches. So you'll pick off 2 to 4 stitches and hold them in front while you knit the next 4 stitches, and then you'll come back and knit those stitches, and that's how you get the twist. And it's really as simple as that. And it's just the varying combinations that you do of that that makes the cables. So if you're wanting to test out doing cables for the first time, this is the perfect project, because you're basically cast on in the round, just knitting a 2x2 rib, doing the 1 cable stitch pattern bit, continuing in the 2x2 rib, and then starting in stockinette, you just knit down till you get to where the thumb needs to be, and then you just they'll tell you how many stitches to put on waste yarn, and then you just continue knitting up until you do the decreases and cast off, and then you'll come back and put your needles through and pick up the stitches for these on the live stitches that you had sitting on some yarn, and you'll just knit like literally 1 inch and a bit and do your decreases and you're done. Like, it's so simple. Honestly, give it a go. And then you've got a lovely pair of mittens. And honestly, if you just want fingerless mitts, you just knit till you get to the length you want on your hand and then bind off. I just go where I think I'm about an inch from where I want it to, or half an inch from where I want it to end at, and then I just finish off. You don't have to. If you just do stocking ed and bind off, it'll just roll, you know, there's just the edge will roll. But if you don't want it to roll, then you just do some 1x1 or 2x2 ribbing, and then cast off in pattern. So that's these gloves. So they're lovely and cozy. Maybe I'll take them to Bendigo with me. I might get to use them at night time or something. So yeah, love them. So that's my blast from the past. So what else have I got to share with you? Oh, I found these in my cupboard that I've had set aside, and I thought I really need to get. My cousin gave me. She's an artist. She's done these paintings, and these are based off her artwork, and she gave them to me, but I can't use them as cards. I'm going to frame them. So I'm going to show you that one, and that's from the same series. And so this is Angela Hayson, Guardian's Northern Territory, number 5 and number 2, oil on canvas, done in 2016. And I'll just read the blurb on the back so you can get to know my cousin, and I'll put links to her Instagram and her sites, and also her husband Jim is a very talented sculptor as well. Angela and Jim have both done sculpting, and Jim has in recent years even had some pieces at the Sculpture by the Sea in Sydney. So Angela Hayson is a Sydney-based artist interested in Australia's vast rugged landscapes, rich in culture and spiritual significance. The cover artwork, which forms part of her Lost City project, is a response to a waterhole visited near Borroloola in the Gulf of the Northern Territory Limon-Bight River region. The anthropomorphic sandstone structures along the waterhole symbolise guardians of the once important water source for the survival of the Aboriginal people. And her website is angelahayson.com. So you can check her out. She has some amazing artwork. She's extremely talented. And I'll also put links to Jim as well, so you can check out his work. So that's that. And then lastly, I'll share what I've recently read. I didn't bring the other book with me, the first book in the series, which is Diabound. I read that just recently and it was fantastic. I couldn't put it down. I absolutely loved it. It's basically a commoner girl ends up bonding to a direwolf, and she has to go through these deadly trials, and then she also discovers things about her past, and that's all I'll say on that. But it's a really, really good book. So if you love fantasy and you love wolves, or if you like anything like, it's sort of similar to Fourth Wing, but instead of dragons it's direwolves. So yeah, really love it. And then this one is the second book in the series, which is Fury Bound. I think it's 588 pages. And yeah, really, really love this. Sable Sorensen, and it's the A Wolves of Ruin series. So this is the second book, I think, and there's a third one coming out soon, later this year, in a couple of months. So this one is Crowned by Destiny, Consumed by Vengeance. Against all odds, Merrin Cooper has inherited the crown and a deadly war. As the kingdom of Nocturna splinters under the weight of generations of lies, it is up to Merrin, her bonded direwolf Anassa, and their allies to bring the country back from the brink. But the commoners, the bonded, and the nobles are distrustful of their new queen, and Merrin is caught in a deadly game of politics. Meanwhile, Merrin's beloved sister Sailor is more at risk than ever. Confusingly, the one person Merrin can trust is Stark Therian, the dark and dangerous Alpha, who she thought hated her as much as she loathed him, yet his loyalty is unshakable. His presence is intoxicating, and with his guidance, Merrin can seize the unthinkable level of power. With enemies closing in and shadows stirring her dreams, Merrin stands to lose her kingdom and her heart. Blood will spill, bonds will break, fate will be tested. I mean, what's not to love? So, yeah, get yourself into this series, Diabound. Hurry up, because there's the third book in the trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. The third book is coming out in a couple of months, so, you know, get started. I think I also recently read another series. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it was really, really good. It was 1,200 pages. It was a trilogy, and I downloaded the one that was on Kindle that's all combined into one book. And gosh, I can't even think of the name of it. I'll put the details down below. It was really, really good. If you love the Mummy movie, you'll love this. It's like this young graduate archaeologist who specializes in Egyptology. She ends up, there's like time travel and going on digs, and this, dark, handsome guy who's in charge of the dig and everything, that's a bit mysterious at first, and if you like Time Traveler's Wife and The Mummy, you're going to love this. It's like a combo sort of thing. Yeah, anyway, that's all I'll say on that one. That's another good one. So 5 stars for that as well. So other than that, I did have a break the last few weeks of journaling, but I've been fairly consistent in journaling this year. I just put little bits in, and then I'll just give you a little flick through. I got some stickers from Kmart. One of my pages has got little stamps in, and the dogs, some washi tape. There's another one. I got some stickers from... what am I saying? I don't know what book it was. I've got it here. Anyway, some I've put like fabric. I had some little unicorn stickers and some Liberty fabric, and these stickers I got from Kmart. Kmart's got some really good stickers and washi tape and stuff. So cute. So that's what I've been doing. And it just brings me joy, and it's good to sort of debrief myself at the end of the day. So I just write like a little page, and that's about it, and just not even in any great fancy detail, but yeah. So, and then in the center of the book, I've got a little leftover of my watercolor thing that I took off the cover, and then I've just got some cute little stickers overlaid, Hello Kitty, and that's my books. So I've just kept track of the books that I've read this year so far. So the book that I was just talking about was The Time Anomaly by Lindsey Sparks. So check that out, 5 stars. That was in April. In May, I read Diabound by Sable Sorensen. In March, I read An Echo in Time by Lindsey Sparks. That's also the first book in the series. And so look up An Echo in Time by Lindsey Sparks, and you'll get the other books that she's got there. In January, I read The Bond That Burns by Briar Berlin, The Bookshop of Secrets by Kerry Barrett, Whispers of the Elder Oak by K.M. Morgan. And I just realised I forgot to put in here a book that I read by a local writer, Belinda Pollard. It's called Poison Bay. So if you check out Poison Bay by Belinda Pollard, I'll put the details down below. She has written 2 books, and they're sort of like, the first one, Poison Bay, is based half in sort of Queensland, Sydney, and half in New Zealand. I forget the name of the trail. anyway, what it is these friends that witnessed a murder years before have received an invite from one of them to, at all expenses paid, to go trekking together, and so they all come back together, and then things start to happen on the journey. And yeah, so it's a thriller and you'll really enjoy it. So check out her books. And yeah, recently I got to catch up while my friend Rachel was here with her partner Con, out for the Mayors, the Writers Festival, and so she did a Writers in Residence interview at the library at Brisbane Square, Brisbane Square Library in town, and I went with Wayne to see her, and Belinda did the interviewing, and it was really interesting to hear about Rachel's writing and her latest book, What Evil Hides, and yeah, so that was really good. So I can recommend also Rachel's books, which I'll put a link down below. And Rachel and I have been friends for a few years now. We met when we were at work together, and then we realised that we travelled on the same train, so we hung out on the train, and she wrote and I crocheted. And yeah, so anyway, so it was only brief because we had to get over to the hospital, so that was sad because I've missed seeing Rachel in person, but we're going to catch up hopefully online soon. So yeah, and hopefully I'm hoping to catch up with Belinda for a cuppa soon in June, so I can hear more about her writing and everything. Yeah, and on that note, I've been working on another hobby, and writing a fantasy book, and that's been going really well. I've got almost 29,000 words written, and I'm going to be positive and say, even if it takes me years to write it, I am going to publish it one day. So it's based on witches and dragon shifters and Scotland, and a little bit in Queensland, but mostly Scotland and a bit in Ireland. So yeah, and yeah, I'm loving writing it. I'm really enjoying it, and even when I'm not writing on it recently because of everything we've got going on, I'm still making notes on my phone and that, because throughout the day I'll think of something for the plot, just where it's taking me, where it's taking the main female character, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with her. So I'm sort of finding out with her as I go along. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and I'm using Scrivener, which is really good for writers. So if you're into writing, I can definitely recommend the software. I think it cost me $98 for the year for the license, and it's really good because you're able to plot out each chapter, and then also have pages for your characters to get to know them, and plot the things that are happening with them and everything like that. So yeah, anyway, that's what I've been working on, apart from just going to work and going to the hospital and just doing life. And I hope you've been getting lots of creative stuff done, whatever it is, and I'll hopefully see you. I'm not going to guarantee when. I will definitely be doing some vlogging when I'm at the Sheep and Wool show, so I'll share that, and we'll see what happens with my schnoz, whether I feel like coming on camera with that. Yeah, so I'm not going to set a date for the next video. I can't really guarantee regular stuff at the moment, just with what's going on, but hopefully I'll see you again soon. Until then, get crafting, get reading, get writing, doing whatever brings you joy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.